One of the things that's fascinating to me that seems to be boiling under the surface is the possibility that we might need some sort of universal basic income to deal with what's happening with AI and automation. Like automation of cars, automation of normal jobs that people, like food preparation and things that people have come to just take for granted that a human's going to be doing that. It's entirely possible that millions and millions and millions of people are going to be out of work within a very short period of time. And it seems to me that it's one of those really sneaky things that might just catch us before we're ready for it.
Yeah, I think that if you extrapolate very far ahead into the future and imagine what utopia is supposed to look like, or the far technologically advanced civilization, why wouldn't we imagine that work is done by robots and machines and human beings are free to be creative or artistic or athletic or just sit on their butts if that's what they want to do? If you believe that that's a possible future, then the way to get there is to, as robots and machines do more and more, make it more and more possible for people to live without working. I think that's is at least, I have no idea whether it works in practice. I'm not an economist. I haven't studied it, but I think it should be taken seriously as an idea.
If you looked at it as a pessimist, if you looked at it with a cynical perspective, you'd say, well, people they don't have motivation, then they behave like rich kids or entitled people or people who won the lottery. They blow all the money. They don't take it seriously because they didn't earn it. It goes against human nature.
Yep, I get that, and maybe it does. Let them do it. Who am I to tell people that they need to be virtuous by earning a living in some job that they may or may not be able to keep for very long? Like, people who say that usually haven't gotten fired from their jobs recently, right?
Yeah, and I always feel like the people that are actually ambitious, but the real problem I think would be growing up with that. I think if you got it as an adult, you'd probably recognize it as a safety net that it is. But if it was during your developmental process, you might rely on it as a constant. Yeah. And so that might be a problem in terms of motivation.
I think so. And I think that, and you see it, right? I mean, I have friends at various levels of income and class that they grew up in. And you can always tell people who grew up in very comfortable environments because they don't have jobs, they have projects. Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm working on a project because they're not really worried about the project failing. Like if you grew up without that safety net, you're more cautious, right?
Yes.
Like you have to have a fail-safe. You have to have a backup plan. But what if everyone had that backup plan? What if we could all do projects instead of work? Is that really a worse world?
Do you know any trust fund people?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the ones that I know all blow their money.
Actually, I know some very wealthy people who raise their kids really well. And,
as trust fund people.
Oh, yeah, as people who never need to work a day in their lives, and they all work really hard.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's possible.
Find those people and clone them.
Yeah.
Find out what made them tick. What was so they found a passion. They found something that they're actually, that seems to be a giant issue.
That's right. And your parents need to, sort of encourage that. And, parents matter when it comes to if you are very wealthy, do you feel like you deserve it? Or do you feel like, I should, give something back because I'm really, really fortunate, right?
Well, there's cockamamie ideas that come from people that haven't earned their money too. Like one guy came to me with this crazy idea for this project he's doing and wanted me to get involved in it. And I was going over the details of it. I was like, I don't think this is going to work. Like, why is this guy so enthusiastic about it? And then the more I dug into it, I'm like, oh, he got all this money from his dad.
Right.
Oh. Well, there you go. This guy's he's got pipe dreams.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I feel, just to be honest about it, like I'm very lucky. Not because I grew up wealthy, because I didn't, but because I now have a job that represents what I want to do. Like what I would do with my life if I were independently wealthy isn't that different from what I'm doing right now, right?
That's bliss.
Exactly. But therefore, I kind of think that I would like a world where everyone can do that if that's what they wanted.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
The real question is, does everybody have an actual interest? And if they don't, is it nurture or nature?
And if they don't, do we force them to? Is that what do we want to do?
Bro, find something you love.
Yeah,
find something you love. Yeah. Find a thing.
I never tell people follow your passion or find what you love, because look, there's a lot of people who need to earn a living, right? There's a lot of people who just need to do work because they need to pay the bills. That's fine. That should be respected. That in the world we have right now, that's an honorable thing to do, and not everyone gets to just do what they love.
That's true. There are some things though that you can do for a living that you'll actually enjoy. Like you need to make a living, but because of your temperament, because of your interests, you can find a thing, whether it's carpentry or whatever it is that you find to be fascinating and fulfilling when you're actually doing. You're making a living, but you're also doing something that, man, this is very satisfying.
Maybe that's true. I mean, it's certainly true. It can be done. Can it be done for everyone in the world? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Yeah.